World still spinning. Watch it spin round. Just a fool again.
Us, massively talented. Honored and a pleasure for them to be here in my studio today. Obviously, I am the man behind the curtain. Not enough room at the table for the short, fat guy, but that's okay. So listen, if you like what you see here today, don't be afraid to go to the old Google box, YouTube 216 Creator Studios. Click that live tab, like, share, subscribe. Ding that bell for future notifications. We appreciate your support. What's up, fellas?
Hey. Yo. What's up?
Well, real abrupt. Love it. From that performance, number one, awesome. First of all, that room is, when we were talking about it in the green room, pretty small. Thus the tiny desk version, right, of what you guys kind of do.
Yeah, we prefer to call it intimate.
Oh, nice. I'll not touch that with a 10-foot pole. So let's kind of get things started here. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
That's Joey Lopo. He sings.
Joey.
That's Jackie Legs. He plays drums.
Jackie.
This is Kyle Smith. He plays guitar.
And this is Pizza Joe Flores. He plays the keys, synth, and the bass synth.
Nice. So you got a Joey and a Joe. Does Joey ever go by Joe, or now is forced not to?
I get the Joe pass, so I can call him Joe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Usually other people just call him Joey.
It feels very wrong when I address him as Joe.
Right.
Like I feel like I've choked on my tongue when I say it.
I've been over to his parents' house and they call him Joey, and it throws me off.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sure.
What such troubling times, fellas.
Yeah, right.
So real quick, how long you guys been together?
That's a complex answer, but basically the name formed in 2015.
Okay.
So.
And so I don't want to get too complex into this, right? It's not one of those things where we were together, but then we were apart, and then we were together again, and then new members.
Well,
Is it one of those?
It's
got some of that in there.
There's a little bit of firing and hiring, and but we're all here now.
Yeah.
He played our first show with us on bass, actually, and then we went through like 3 other bass players, and then he came back on keys.
Like
and we're
3 or 4 years in.
This is how we should have kept it.
Right. Well, rightfully so. Because together, I mean, you guys know how to jam, man. There's no question to that.
Thank you.
And so we'll start with you. How long have you been doing what you do on the drums? Correct. So how long have you been playing the drums?
I started banging on pots and pans, as cliche as that is.
Nice.
About 3 years old.
Okay.
Technically, my father's a guitar player, so technically the first instrument I played was guitar.
Oh.
Because I picked it up and I was strumming it and not fretting anything, and just annoying the living hell out of my mom, just like strumming open chords.
That sounds like what I do now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But my mom, my dad heard the rhythm in the hand, and he was like, "Nah, this boy's a drummer."
Nice.
So that's kind of how that started.
That's awesome. And so this your first band you were in, or have you been in other bands?
I technically had like a grunge band in high school.
Okay.
But there was just, playing like the Battle of the Bands, and we did one show at the roller rink.
Gotcha.
But that
the old roller rink show. Gotcha. That's hot.
R.I.P.
So my man on the keyboards back there, how about you, man? Well, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing keys probably officially since 8th grade, but I started on sax in 6th grade. My dad bet me $20 that I couldn't learn the Charlie Brown song Linus and Lucy on the piano, and $20 to an 8th grader is gold.
Yep.
So what did I do in a couple of days? Went on YouTube, looked up the cheat codes, and basically here we are today. I got my $20, probably bought some video games from it, and
$20 that's a lot of Microsoft points, dude.
you can
Right.
go to the GameStop and get like 3 Game Boy Advance games for that money.
Whoa. Well, I mean, listen, and not only that, you obtained a new talent off of it. I mean, that's pretty fire, especially the fact that I'm watching you not just on one. I have a trouble just looking at one keyboard. You got multiple sitting around you. You're working two of them in this picture here at the same time. So have you ever bounced around to all those in one performance?
Pretty consistently.
When we had a bass player, yes. Now it's kind of hard. I definitely need one hand at least for the bass synth because otherwise it's going to be a little shaky. But
Yeah.
Without my left hand, on bass, I'll throw a little bit of this and that in there for sure.
And
Nice.
there's sometimes at our shows where I'll pick up the bass synth and he'll be able to play saxophone or flute too.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, so that's cool.
Alto sax?
Lately I've been using tenor.
Tenor? Cool, man. Cool. My daughter's picking up the alto. That's why. I just dropped
Nice.
a pile of dough for her to have this. She does trumpet and flute, and she's in jazz band. And
Sweet.
she just got first chair in her
Heck
school.
There's not enough
middle school kids.
trumpeters, if you ask
Well,
me.
there's the old three,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It was my brother's. He was a trumpet player and passed away. I found it in the closet as I was cleaning the house.
Oh, sweet.
Brought it here to the old Piano Trends. If you're looking for a used trumpet or a Piano Trends here in Crystal Lake, feel free to come on by. If you need a
I was
piano,
just thinking that.
if you need a piano or two, stack them like Legos, whatever you need to do. Piano Trends has got it for you. But no, I brought it over to them. They sent it out, got it cleaned for me and everything else. So she's been hacking away on that as well. And, I'll tell you, as a 50-year-old man, as a parent now, and hearing the horns consistently in the background, there's not enough hot spoons I could put in my eyes. But I want to support her, right? So, but she's the flute. She is phenomenal. I've never, I'm very impressed with.
Cool.
Smart kid, and rocking it out. So yeah, sax. That's pretty awesome, man. And flute, right?
Yeah.
Wow, man, multi-talented. Kyle.
Hey,
I want to say it like South Park. I don't know why. I hate you, Kyle.
Everybody does.
Right?
it happens.
This isn't the first time you've been in the studio. Obviously, you're what we call a band jumper, multi-band
Of
person,
lately.
right?
That's actually like new of this year. I used to be the Alabaster or die guy.
Right.
And
Yeah, he
everyone-
used to get mad at us for taking other gigs.
Oh, I see.
I've softened my heart to the idea, and yeah, so this is my second time here.
At practice, you guys give him a lot of crap about that. Like, oh, what's the matter, Kyle? You got to go to your other band because you're kind of a big deal.
We keep a tight schedule.
Yeah, I bet. No, very talented on the guitar. Listen, you can crush it. I've heard you play at over here as well as just here now. How long have you been doing this, man?
I have been playing guitar primarily since middle school. Even before that, I got gifted an acoustic guitar that I could not put my arms around at the time. I was that little, and then I don't know, I started playing like Metallica songs and stuff in middle school and started dabbling in the electric. And then come high school, I ended up meeting some of these guys. I met Jackson and I knew Joey, and I was primarily rhythm guitar when we had another guitar player at the time in the beginning. And I actually swapped over to bass for Alabaster for a brief period of time. But now, I don't know how many years it's been, but I've been like the single guitar player in this band for a number of years now. So yeah, it's mostly guitar.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's been fun.
And so, because you go through different, you're a band jumper, right?
This feels so
I'm loving
it's
this.
so new to
I'm
me.
loving this right now.
Are you loving it? Should I keep it going? I mean, I just keep it going. No, I mean, listen. So, you guys, and I'm going to throw this promotion out there here in a little bit because one of the other bands he's in is also in that promotion, which I thought was pretty cool, man. Because it seems like you guys probably get along with just about anybody anyway. There's always a little bit of competition, I'm sure, in there somewhere, right? But for the most part, a bunch of good guys from the other two bands, just the same. And that's how I met Kyle, through Ephraim, which was a good show as well. But yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing these gentlemen in, and to get an interview as well. We're here to try to help the awareness. The ROI on this is the ripples on impact. It's how much you could drop that big boulder in the pond and watch those ripples go out is what gains that awareness. And
I can tell just from that you've had 13 businesses.
Is it apparent? Right. All right, my man on the end over there. How about you? How long you been doing? So you're vocal and keyboard?
Yeah, I mess around with synth a little bit.
Okay.
But, I don't know. I started playing guitar first, probably 12 years ago,
Cool.
and then I knew Kyle from skateboarding when we were little kids.
Skaters.
And he wanted to jam with Jackson on drums, so me and him were both on guitar, and then met them and found that they had another guitarist that was way better than me, and I was like, I'm gonna try to sing. So then I've been trying to sing for like 10 years. I'm getting there.
I don't know if you're doing. I don't even hear the trying part.
He is singing.
You're gonna say that in front of the Yoda cup right there, dude?
I mean, Yoda's judging you right now. Listen, your voice is phenomenal.
Thanks, dude.
The way you kick it off, especially in this video, at least, it sounds like you've gotten this down for who you are, at least, right? I think everybody, when it comes to their special talent, they have their own niche, their own little thing that makes them, right? And I think you got that down, bud, because
Thanks,
I mean, I don't see trying. You're not trying, you're doing. For sure, because you guys are obviously crushing it as a team, which is awesome. Okay, so listen, we got a promotion here, and it looks like you guys are. Let me minimize this guy here real quick. Get rid of this. Why don't you guys tell the audience here where you're going to be and what you're going to do, because you have a couple things coming up, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Why don't you start with the Chicago one?
Yeah, we're going to be at Shuba's Tavern, which is a legendary spot in Chicago. We're playing with our good pals, the Lunatics. They're an amazing band, Chicago local. And then also Laughing Hearts are on the bill. They're like a super unique sounding band too. They're cool. So that's Shuba's. That's December 21st. Saturday. What the fuck else you doing?
Saturday, dude.
Right.
Easy day to get out.
It's only a Saturday. What else you want to do? Go see some live music doesn't sound like a bad idea.
So that's our Chicago gig for the Chicago peoples. And then we got a local one coming up at Mackey's Hideout in McHenry on December 28th. That's New Year's pre-party.
Also Saturday.
Also a Saturday. New Year's falls on a middle of the week this year, so we figured we'd get that weekend on lock and get our boys Ephraim and the Bluesberries, a couple other local acts involved.
Yep.
So it's a local band shindig that we're doing. So,
yep. And it seems like there is a purchase thing here. I got right.
Yeah, you got the link. You can find us at alabasterjams.com.
Otherwise, go to Mackey's Hideout there on Facebook, facebook.com. And they got whatever their talent's coming up. And I be honest with you, I've never been there, but I hear great things about it.
You got to go. Shout out Mackey's, dude.
All right.
Shout out.
Big shout out to Mackey's. We appreciate you bringing in this talent, and feel free to give Cappuccino a call. Come on in, man. Let's talk about bands, and how we can promote you with these bands as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, they do whole summer events too, where they have like 4 or 5 bands perform, and I think you would probably enjoy that.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I wouldn't even mind bringing some mobile stuff and doing some live streaming.
Yeah,
on there, man. It'd be pretty hot.
I'm sure they'd love it.
Yeah. Awesome. So it's what, $10 or $15 at the door, right? Go online, folks. Check it out. You could get it online for $10. Otherwise, you're at the door. It's another fin. What's another $5? Who cares? Just go do it. You got to do it.
Bring your friends.
Bring your friends.
Your family.
Bring your friends' friends.
Bring your enemies.
Bring your enemies, the homeless, I heard. Bring your animals. They accept animals of all kinds. This place is getting shut down. Let's just be honest.
Maybe dogs, no zoo animals, though.
That's awesome.
Keep the zebras at home.
So weird. I was thinking zebra in my head, dude.
Whoa, man.
It's meant to be.
All right.
One question before we exit. So real quick, and we'll go around the table for this question, okay? For a young artist that is just getting in and wanting to do what you guys do, what would the advice that you would give that person?
Don't be a dick.
Well, that's always a good advice.
Yeah.
Period. Like, that's okay. You're done. No, just kidding.
It's true.
So, what do you think? What kind of advice would you give? If there was a young drummer, right? That's like, man, I want to get out there and jam. What would the advice? So, what to look out for? What to, what would be the one thing you would tell them, if anything?
Well, if we're looking at specifically like just a musician trying to work, I think you have to really absorb it as your life. You have to like listen to all genres, even stuff that you don't necessarily like, to learn as much as you can about it. And sometimes you get called for a gig and you're like, well, I'm not a country drummer, but I learned how to play it, so you get on the country gig, and it doesn't mean you have to play country for the rest of your life, but that means maybe you meet someone else and it's like, oh, the pedal steel player from that band is also a jazz fusion pedal steel player. And then you meet him, and then you're like, oh, I'm meeting all these people now. Because like you've said, connections are really,
That's right.
That's the biggest thing. Education,
and connections, man. Really. I love that. It's a great answer, man.
Thank you.
Also, speaking of connections, I feel like supporting other local acts, going out, even if you have to drive an hour to the city and just supporting other musicians, just showing your face in the scene. I feel like it's such an overrated thing or underrated that nobody really talks about, that you should really support as many people as you can.
Oh, wow. That's a way better answer than your last one. No, that's, that's fantastic. And you should, being humble, I think, is a kind of an important thing in anything that you do, as well as being a good sport, man. Show the support to the others as well. You never know what opportunities lie ahead of you with people that you meet, So if you burn that one bridge and it circles back 360, you're like, damn it.
Exactly.
You just never know.
I would also like to just tag onto that.
Yeah.
Be a good hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a good hang.
Define that for people who don't understand what that means.
Like,
don't be mean.
Okay.
Don't be cocky. Yeah. Don't have some
don't
crazy ego.
Don't be, overtly. You don't have to. I'm trying to say this without sounding
egos.
Yeah. Don't be stroking other people. Don't be stroking yourself. Just go with the flow.
Right.
But seriously, like, go with the flow.
Gotcha. I love that. You know what? You put that well in the business world. We really kind of kick that down as the person who tells you that they're kind of a big deal. Usually is that guy, right? And so a narcissism at best.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a really good. I like that tag on to. What about you, man?
I'd say definitely try to visit your local jams, because that is where all the networking happens. And that can happen, jazz jams at your friend's basement, like anywhere you can find where it's happening. Try to get there. But in the meanwhile, practice your ass off. Try to find your own voice. It doesn't have to be as technically proficient as the next, Jimi Hendrix or whatever,
Right.
Like, you need to find your own voice, and that's more important, and that's not what people talk about.
You be you. Yep.
You don't got to focus on playing 64th notes. You can just chill out and be like the best, reggae guitarist ever,
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't say like 64th notes, but like, for example, they don't really play very often. Every other quarter note. But for just for instance, you just got to find your own voice, and when people see that you found your own voice, or like you care and you're trying to do that, they're like, all right, let's hang out with this guy. He seems to be on the right path. And then you collect an army of people to hang out with and jam out with, and then see what happens from there.
And then you overthrow the government.
I was like, you're gonna be yourself, and then you're gonna get an army. And I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. right? Yeah, we don't say overflow the government, not on 21.6. Next the other day, hey, I saw that video. No, that was all a joke. Joking, folks, joking. JK. What about you, man? What would you say?
Well, as a guitarist, there's a lot of weight to be held with like learning cover songs and kind of developing like your taste in music. Like
Yep.
they said, like learn stuff, various genres, whatnot. But as for a young person starting out who wants to who aspires to play in a band or just play with other people, it's good to know like the fundamentals of your instrument as well as other instruments.
No.
So I would say try to hop on a bass, try to hop on the
explore
drums,
Yeah.
join other bands. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's
Yes. Yes.
Kyle's new motto.
Yes.
Yeah,
Join
play
other
with,
bands.
like a lot of people.
Play with as many people as you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. But yeah, obviously, if you find like your crew, you find your if you're blessed enough to have it be friends that you've known for a while that you're like really close with, that you've just been friends before you were a band, like that's awesome too.
Yep.
But yeah, just show up ready to work. Have a like a strong work ethic when it comes to being in a band, because it's not just learn some songs, jam out, and have a good time. If you really want to take it to like another level, like
pull in tubes and just jamming.
Yeah.
And everything sounds great because you're already toked. Right.
Yeah.
That sounded awesome, dude.
My advice to young musicians: don't be in a jam band.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
That's true.
That's not a joke. Don't do drugs though.
That's right.
Yeah.
No drugs.
I feel like that's a big thing that's very prominent in the scene, is people drinking a lot and doing drugs and stuff. And I feel like sometimes it's easy to gravitate towards what other people are doing, but just be yourself, man. You don't need to.
Well, you already have your passion, right? Your
Yeah.
passion is the music.
Yeah.
And so that should be the outlet, working as a chef in a kitchen. I didn't do or partake in any of that. That was way prior, right?
Which is crazy because kitchens.
They're crazy.
That's where it happens.
Dude, that's where it's all. That's where people lose fingers, and they're just like, I don't know. They have no idea. They don't know what they're doing half the time. But yeah, if your passion is doing what you do, you shouldn't have to intoxicate.
Yeah.
To try to feel that you already have it.
Yeah, I'm not saying people shouldn't do it at all. If that's it's your life, do whatever you want to do with your life. But in my opinion, if you're playing a show, wait till after to get. If you're going to be drinking, just wait a little bit.
Right.
Maybe have a drink if you want, but like don't go to a show sloshed and just
Because you're screwing everybody else.
exactly.
Up.
You're
Right.
going to mess up, and
You're in a team. So if you're the weakest link because you think you're playing great, but you're pretty hammered.
Yeah.
And you're not playing great, you're throwing everybody off, and now everybody looks like an ass, right?
Exactly.
I mean, so yeah, no, that's well said. Are you speaking from experience?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I quit drinking 8 years ago, and
Congratulations.
thanks, dude. But when I first the first year of playing with these guys, I was something.
Right. Well, welcome back to the band. The complication is starting to weed itself out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Awesome, man. Well, you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing more of you guys out there. And then, hell, we're talking with the Rotary Club for Lake of the Hills Rib Fest, and we're working a deal that it won't be this year, but the next year, because they already got their stuff settled for the year.
Yeah.
We were able to interview Jefferson Starship there, and
Cool.
we got some bigger bands that kind of come through. But I'd love to see you guys on that stage, so I'm going to push for that.
Heck yeah.
If I can get you
appreciate that,
guys
man.
out there, that'd be hot.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shouts out Cappuccino.
Yeah, shout out to Cappuccino, my man. Love it. You're already in my good book. All right, folks. Well, listen, another around the piano. Alabaster, check. We got them in the house. I'd love to do a follow-up with you guys here into the near future and see how things are going, and maybe even have you come to some of our our specialty events and stuff like that, and see what you think. Maybe you come play in this room here.
Okay.
I'll give you a good 2-3 hours for free in there. Let you tell me what I'm doing wrong about setting it up. How about that? That sounds great.
Consultation, if you will.
Yeah, a little consultation. At least you get the jam. Not that kind of jam, but that kind of jam. That's right, folks. Cappuccino around the piano. Tim Paul not here today at the store. That's okay. We still love you, Tim. Enjoy your night, everybody. Take care.
World still spinning. Watch it spin round just to fall again. Walls come crumbling, tumbling down.